talk about the whole book, or like just a review?
Well, I guess we could just have a discussion. Which is really what I was thinking. I don't know. Because the thing is, we could review the whole book. But that just takes a lot of time. So we're going to review the concepts in Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth.
I didn't know there's people fucking filming, dude.
Yeah, dude. We've been filming, dog.
I had no fucking idea, dude. I didn't know you pressed record. I was like, who are you talking to? We're gonna review the concepts. I was already aware.
That's why I love this book so much. Is because it's not really, to me, it's not really a religious book. It's not supposed to be.
He talks about so many different religions, though. Like every fucking religion he touches on.
He does, and that's the beauty. That's what I love about this book. Is that it's like he's not like you can have any spirituality. Like you can be Buddhist, Christian, any of it, and this book will still resonate. Like it still makes sense. And he talks. It's really just about bettering yourself. You know, like bettering the whole of humanity. And a lot of the stuff he talks about is like it makes you have to look back, especially when he starts going off on the ego. You know, starts explaining it.
Light it up. It was her neighbor knocking on the door, and she's like, "Oh, I have to talk to you real quick, blah blah," because I'm sure like she knows what he does. And she comes out with a bunch of paper, starts talking. She's like. She didn't pay like her bill or something, her utility, whatever, because they didn't fix something. So they like threatened to kick her out of her apartment if she didn't pay, but she felt like she was wrong. So she talks for like 30 minutes, blah blah, and then he's literally not saying a word. He's not giving into her story. So he's literally just staying there present, letting her talk.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he's just like. He's not being a dick about it. He's just letting watch it. He's letting her watch.
He's not gonna react. He's not gonna let her feed off of his reactions.
He talks a lot about reaction too, like how people react right away. It's just like emotional pain. Like someone says something, "Fuck you," it's like nothing to do with you.
And you know why that is? And he talks about it. It's because they already have an idea of what they want it to be.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna say this, they're gonna say that, and if they don't say that, I'm gonna get mad. I want them to either the reaction to be what I want, and if it's not what I want. It's gonna be bad. Exactly the same way with the story. It's like she wanted him to. You're right. Go. You know that's you're wrong. And he just sat there. It's like it is what it is.
Like that's fucked up. He didn't say a word. He said, and then she eventually was like, she just stopped and she's like, this is like pointless, isn't it? He's like, it is. And then she like, walked away. And she said the next day she saw him. She was like, wow, like I don't know what you did, but like I feel so much better.
And that's the beauty of humans is that we do act like mirrors. You know, that's like
it's so true.
And so we all have the ego. Really, he explains it. And I love the term ego. Like the way he just like that's how I know when I look at myself. That's what I refer to it as, like the ego, because of this book. And you know, it's like when you want, like when the ego is trying to get its, you know, it's like it's food, it's like it's sustenance, it's like it's looking for its reaction, you know, and it has an idea, and then your ego. So if I go up to you and I'm like, dude, this dude fucked me over, like my ego is expecting, and your ego will latch onto it, you know. It's gonna be like, and then they're just feeding.
Could you think of it like, oh yeah, that'd be so fucking pissed.
Yeah, I would. Oh man, if I was, oh yeah. Fucking, we were at St. Armand's. And I was like looking around, and then I asked him like, God, I remember that night. I looked around, and everybody was doing the exact same thing.
What, on their phones, or
they like, but it was so much different than that. It was like they were all like, I don't know how to explain it. For some reason I just saw it, and I remember in that moment I'm thinking like, but if you went up to every single one of these people, they would claim that they wanted a different life, they wanted a better life, they wanted something.
Well, everyone wants.
Beyond, exactly.
It's he talks about like that too, resisting what is.
But they were so doing what everybody else was doing. They were literally all just flocking to the same system.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you supposed to expand when the system is limiting and you're conforming to that system? And it's just like they were all. And it's hard because it's how do you question that? How do you say, okay, well, doing that is wrong? And then it's like, well, So what you're saying is I can never go to a mall now because if I go to a mall, I'm therefore like giving into the and then so it's like you have to, especially when you get to that point. It's like how do you stop the extremes?
Well, I think he talks about awareness too. It's like if the more aware you are, like you could do things, like you could still have sex, you still enjoy materialistic items, but like I don't identify with it. You're aware.
If it goes away, it goes away.
Some people, it's unconsciousness. You are unconscious of like why you do things, or like you're going through your life and just moving through habit and fear. Like you're not actually like making decisions. You're just doing the past experiences. Like, oh, I got fucked over the one time, so fuck this dude.
Yeah. I lost my skimboard at the beach, and I tell you, I don't know where the fuck it went.
How do you know you lost it?
It was like a $400 skimboard.
Yeah.
I went out to the beach one night. I was by myself, and it was like perfect skimboard. I'm telling you, it was so much fun. I was like a full moon over the water. I'm just out there like just tearing up these fucking waves, and I was having a blast. And then on my way home, I know I put it in the fucking car. I know I did.
Yeah.
And but I must have not, and I must have left it at the beach.
Yeah.
And so I went home, and the next day I wanted to go to the beach in the morning, and I was looking for it. And I was looking in the garage and I'm like, wait, where's my skimboard? And I called my dad and I'm like, Dad, did you move my skimboard? Like, no. I went over to my brother, hey, did you touch my skimboard? He's like, no. And I'm like, oh my God. And I love this skimboard. Like, this was one of my prized, like, I love this thing, you know? And I remember I was just like freaking out. But then in that moment, I'm like, but am I gonna like let this happen? And I looked at it and I'm like, it's just a fucking skimboard. Like, it's just a piece of wood. You know, and this is it's like the only reason I wanted the skimboard was to have a moment that I previously had again. I just wanted, like the same reason people do drugs, is they're looking for that first high.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't really, I guess that's what it's like. Why can't I just be like, okay, the skimboard's gone. I'm going to enjoy the memories. I'm going to enjoy.
It's so hard though.
It's so hard.
Letting go.
So hard.
That's letting go is a big concept too.
Yeah. It was difficult, but it was a great moment. But people have like, and obviously that's such a small scenario, like, oh, a skimboard, but you know, everybody has their...
Yeah, even like relationships too, like it's so fucking hard to let go of those memories.
Oh.
He talks about it too, a lot of people, they get their identity from the past, like who they are, and they get their happiness from the future. Like, oh no, things will get better. I have all this, like I'm gonna become someone, I'm gonna do all this. Someday. And like the past, like, well, you know, this is what happened to me, this is who I am. You know, I had a rough childhood, or this is who I am, this is who I always be. Mm-hmm. So you're identifying with something that's not happening now. Like you aren't, even like 10 minutes ago, you aren't the same person.
Is our mic on?
Yeah, it is, dude.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I put it on. Yeah, dude. We chill.
Good.
Imagine we're just like...
Oh my God. Whatever. Just put up the video anyway. Just no audio.
Just like, hope you're good at lip reading.
The way we feed off of each other is through that, like, the same frequency. It's like, what other beings, what other things exist out there that are just purely vibrational awarenesses? They're not like, they're not limited by form, they're not limited by matter, by, you know, like substance. They're just completely vibrational. And since we have that in us, we can obviously see it. It must, you know, but anyways. We have that in us, I guess. Like, in since it is talking about like animals, like the ego is more animal than anything else. Like, it is our animal, the inside of us, the side that clings to nature, to food, to like all these things. You know what I mean? Like, it's the very essence of finite. It's the very essence of limitation. Like my dog. My dog is just, he's an animal. He's so finite. He's never going to worry about what happens afterwards, I guess. I don't know. What is he? True. Fish, and then that evolved into a higher species and higher species, and then for somehow we evolved into like this cognitive aware being, you know, and then so now, and you know, everybody's thinking like this superhuman. Like, that's where we're headed right now. We're just going to keep getting bigger, faster, stronger. I think it was C.S. Lewis that said this. But, like, and he kind of describes it as well. Like, that's not how we're evolving. Like, we're not evolving physically stronger. Like, we're not going to physically evolve into a different being. Like, the evolution that's taking place right now, like the awareness, you know, that's happening, this transfiguration that's going through all the the world right now. You know, people are just keep getting more aware, more interested. You know, information and travel like that now. You know, you can collaborate with somebody across the world about ideas and be creative, and it's just insane what's happening. But there's also a lot of destruction, and so what he was saying was that the next evolutionary steps is not a physical. You know, we're not just going to keep getting bigger, stronger, faster. It's like a psychological, almost like we're going to transcend this. He almost describes it as like our bodies are even going to get weaker. Like we're going to. I guess death is like really the step, and that completes the cycle to the next point. You know, the next stage in evolution is after death, which is kind of weird to think about. You know, it's like that we can't like reach it now. Is it possible? Even him, like, is it even possible to fully accomplish this? 100%.
Well, it's enlightenment.
It is, but
that's what
can a true human, like, even.
Well, some humans claim to.
Of course they claim to.
He doesn't claim to, but he talks about it a lot. I think he thinks, or he claims to.
Of course. I mean, and that's another thing. Like, is it wrong to say, okay, yeah, like I'm a little bit smarter than somebody else because I've spent time thinking. I've spent time. Obviously, you know, he knows what he's talking about. Obviously, there's a lot of thought and intelligence behind the words, but no human can transcend time and space. No, it's just not. It's no matter how hard we try, and that's the problem that I've really been kind of mulling over in my mind for the past couple of months. It's like no matter how hard we try, it's like, and it's kind of depressing, but we're still bound right now. We're still.
Well, yeah, there is some. Like we are not infinite in some ways. Some ways we are.
Yeah.
We still have limits. Like
I have to eat. We're so naturally compelled to fall apart. We're so naturally compelled to go into the ego. You know, as he just like if no human tries, if we just didn't try, we would become completely unaware. Completely, we would turn into animals. You know, like we wouldn't care about shit. We would take what we wanted. We would
just go
identify. Yeah, we would turn into animals. You know,
they were rage,
savages. Yeah,
it's all for me. I'm the only person that matters.
And we resist that.
Yeah.
We resist that. We want to be better. We want to be good. You know. You know, and it's. Why do that? Because since it's so hard you literally have to fight. It's literally every day you have to be like, no, I'm going to be aware today. I'm not going to give in to the voice in my head that says, take that, do this to this person, you know, take advantage of them, steal from them, you know.
Yeah.
And we naturally want to do that. We just naturally want everything for ourselves. We are trying to fight past it. People like this, you know, like who have gone farther than most, you know, like who have worked very hard to get as far away from the animalistic tendencies that all humans have. You know, but it's like why do it? You know, it's so natural. It's so natural to fall apart, especially due to the anthroporial forces that exist. You know, that since our entire universe is running down, why not just give in? Why not just give in to that system? And why not just fall apart and just accept it?
I think if people wanted to, like, I guess people aren't satisfied with that, because some people do that and they never fucking
they're not happy.
They aren't. But like even with the awareness, like if you don't focus on it, like I don't know, I feel like the more like consciousness is awareness, and the more awareness you have, like every single thing you do you should be aware of. Which is like, I guess sounds hard, but like as soon as you wake up, if you like just do the first thing you usually do when you wake up, like a habit, just okay, I do this. But like everything you do, if you're aware of it, like you're gonna like make more conscious choices. Yeah, everything you do. And he was talking about like how awareness.
22 minutes.
Awareness alone is curative. So basically, like if no matter what you're doing, he said like fully do it. Like don't like judge it, but just be aware of like how it feels and how like of the consequences of it. So he's talking about like if you want to eat junk food, he said don't say don't do that, that's wrong, but like eat it and make how does it feel like. The next day,
I think I have. Yeah, I remember hearing about this. Yeah.
And he talks about that. I watched a video about emotions too. He was talking about emotions, and he was like, don't resist emotions. Like, yeah, and that's what he talks about that too. He's like, I shouldn't feel bad, and you're gonna feel bad. You're gonna resist what is. So you're like, get away. Like, but if you're like, that has a lot of power though. When you're like, all right, like just be sad. And you're like, fuck, I can't be sad anymore because like it was so stupid.
Yeah. Like, if you just stay aware of what you do, like people want to stop smoking cigarettes. Like the best thing you can do is just every time you smoke a cigarette, just how does it make you feel? It makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
You feel disappointed because you gave up. You know the way you feel out your lungs. It's not a good feeling. And if you just stay aware of the feeling that's happening instead of the I need this because I'm so addicted. I've done this for so long. You know, just stay present in this moment. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Just in this moment. Will this make me feel better?
Yeah.
The answer is no. The answer is no. You know, it would be much better to go through a little bit, a temporary being uncomfortable than to give up. You know, the I gave up again. That is the worst feeling. Like I couldn't stick to what I said.
Yeah, it's true.
And I gave up. And you just have to stay aware. But that is difficult. That is so difficult.
Even with anything you do.
It is, yeah. It's so difficult. True. 22 minutes, dog. How long do we want to make these videos?
I don't know, dude. We don't want to pick a topic, so it just lasts forever. Should I cut this one off?